This week we are talking about isolation in marriage. This morning I was in the garage talking to one of my daughters, and she knew that we wanted to talk about isolation in marriage today, and she was remembering growing up, and she said, "Mom, I don't really remember too many things about when you were feeling isolated in marriage, but I do remember you and Dad trying to stay really connected throughout the day." And I think what I'd like to share today is how vigilant we have to be to stay connected.
If Tamara or any of the kids called during the work day, they went through a reception. They got right to me, almost no matter what. I mean, unless I was involved in some kind of a life and death emergency, or I was talking to like a judge and I couldn't get off the phone, and even then I would call back immediately. So everyone had open and instant access to me, no matter where I was or what I was doing. The second thing was that Tamara and I made a concerted effort to talk 2 to 3 times a day, and to kind of keep up on struggles, events, victories, you name it.
I think we started off doing the opposite of that, where when Larry got home, I had to try to get all the information from the day. It was too much for either one of us to really handle. So we actually implemented the Let's Talk Through the Day tool over time, and it became a very, very profitable thing for the girls and for me to stay connected to Larry throughout the day. When Larry walked in the door from a hard day at work, we already knew where he was. We knew where he was in his emotions, mentally, and we were all on the same page. He knew where we were. He knew how to kind of adjust quickly to the family life at that point.
It also tends to kind of break down false expectations, because you know what's going on and you're ready for it. Another kind of important topic about being isolated in marriage is unforgiveness. So you can have a big fight, a little fight, a squabble. There can be a misunderstanding, and it can cause offense, and those things need to be addressed with an immediacy, with like instant attention. Otherwise, they can grow and fester and become miserable.
The times that I have felt the most isolated are when we've had a big argument or some kind of disagreement or misunderstanding between us, and I go to the worst possible extreme in my mind with how he feels about me, his love for me, when it is absolutely has nothing to do with that. And it on a level of between 1 and 10, it's probably a 1 or a 2, and I've made it a 10. I think one of the most wonderful keys to prevent that, which Larry's talking about, forgiveness is a great way to live your life, because even as offenses are coming out, you start to want to understand the hurt or the pain. At the same time, you're like, oh, I've got to figure out where this pain came from. And my mind, no, I don't let my mind go to the worst extremes anymore. I stay wanting to stay in the conversation rather than leaving the conversation, staying in the conversation, talking it out, finding out how I hurt him, what is it that I might have done, what is it that he might have done. And we come to a place...
Usually it's me.
Usually it's me. But over 37 years, we're at a place right now where it's much safer. And I think you can start at a very early time in your marriage or in your home or living with people that maybe are not your family even. And these tools are the absolute most amazing tools for life.
For building community.
Yes, you stay in the conversation, you stay listening, you don't put up walls and boundaries and then in your mind go to the worst possible extremes. Stay on the level, stay in the conversation, try to really understand how that person might be feeling, and say a quick prayer that you are able to listen and forgive, and that hopefully they will forgive you.
Yeah, the best prayer is help.
Help, yes, help.
Lord, help me. I just want to say one thing with me, and I think maybe with a lot of guys, like I never think I'm wrong. Usually I think I'm right, and so I'm not worried about whether Tamara loves me. I really know she does. Usually I just think I'm right, and I'm offended because no one understands me, and so I am always learning to back off and to humble myself before the Lord and before my family, and really repent of it, try to understand other people's perspective, and that I tend to isolate myself when I get hurt because of pride, and that's got to go.
Knock down those isolation walls, and whether it's with
unforgiveness, pride, right?
Fear,
right?
Pain,
a failure to communicate.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good one. And I would encourage you just to stay in the game. Stay in the communication process. Stay in relationship with your friends, with your family. Just stay in there. And Larry and I, we're happier now than we have ever been. And I believe that I wish we would have had these tools 30 years ago.
Yeah,
but
like in the 80s.
Yeah. But we have been growing in them, and we still have a lot to learn, but we are excited about this new phase of our lives. So go for it.
Yes. We know you can do it.